Welcome sa ating channel. We are here now finally to talk about budget PC build up to the point na high-end. Syempre medyo may pagka-Nostradamus itong video. We are expecting that DDR5 will price drop soon. So in-include na natin ang DDR5 setup din sa ating video na to. Para kahit papaano in the upcoming years, if you will be asking me for a budget DDR5 PC build, then I may recommend this. Pero as of now, we will have the 30K and below with the DDR4 setup, no video card, and then 30K and above, DDR4 with video card, maybe up to 60K, and then the DDR5 as of now may be even higher significantly by around 10K more or less, since that's the difference of DDR5 versus DDR4 as of this time. Pero ayun nga po, we are also featuring here the Kingston brand for the DDR5 setup. We also have here the Asus brand of a motherboard and video card for the DDR5 setup, and then counterparts for the DDR4 setup. Well, this is a video that is loaded with a lot of information. A bit, some of those topics will be partially basic lang po yung gagawin natin for you to easily digest those information or demonstration. Pero we will be having another video soon na mas dedicated on certain topics. As of now, in general muna, especially that the highlight of this video is all about the PC build from budget up to kung saan yung magiging upgrade path niya. Now, with that being said, and for more videos like this, feel free to subscribe.
This video is brought to you by SCDKey, the best website that you may visit in terms of very affordable deals and best offer para sa application softwares, games, and yes, operating system. And there you are, you may check the Windows 10 Pro, and by using our promo code, ma-avail mo lang siya ng around $14.95 or 700 plus pesos. That's it mga kaibigan. Check the description below. May mga links po tayo dyan to go directly sa kanilang website.
So before we will drop our new time-lapse video, that is really something na significantly improved as of now. Para kahit paano hindi naman dire-diretsong nakikita nyo lang yung pagmumukha kong nagsasalita. Ayun po, bibigyan ko lang po kayo ng konting pahapyaw muna of what we will be discussing with this video. Unang-una, tulad na sinabi ko kanina, we have here the Asus motherboard and the Asus video card. Ang gagawin po natin is a DDR5 setup na wala pong video card and merong video card, for you guys to have an idea kung paano yung maging performance in the future if in case na nag-drop ng DDR5 RAMs. At the same time, meron din siyang DDR4 setup for you guys to have an idea if what's the performance of a 12400 without video card, and is it worth it na maging PC build mo muna while you are waiting for the funds para makabili ng yung video card. At least 6600 as I may recommend on this channel, since 12400 is a decent processor that should be partnered also with a decent video card. Also with a counterpart na RTX 3050 if you want to. Pero if I may suggest, dahil medyo may kamahalan ng RTX 3050, you may go ahead and check the RX6600 video cards as well. Another highlight of this video is all about this Kingston RAM. So yun po yung gagamitin natin. Why I choose Kingston RAM? Wala po siyang RGB. So definitely maganda yung brand niya, maganda yung kanyang cooling capability, pero hindi siya ganun kamahal compared to other DDR5 RAMs na if at this kind of specification, most likely you need to settle down at 20K to 25K RAMs only. Pero yes, that may mislead you na baka iniisip nyo worth 5K lang yata yung DDR4 pero that DDR4 is the 2x8, or if there's 2x16, then maybe that is also around 7K or 8K. Pero ayun, 2x16 kasi ang kadalasang pinakamababa sa DDR5, and dahil nga sa shortage, that is worth 20K. Supposedly, actually, yung video natin is DDR5 lang. Pero I need to have a DDR4 in here so that this video will still be relevant as of now while waiting for the RAM pricing to improve. Now, before we will go into details, benchmark, etc., let's check first our brand new revamped time-lapse video. So there you have the time-lapse. Hopefully you like it. That's our brand new time-lapse, and we will keep on improving pagdating sa aming mga presentations, especially pagdating sa mga PC builds in the next videos or in the future videos. So ayun, paunti-unti na po nating ini-improve yan. Pero ayun nga po, as I have said earlier, let's talk about the benchmark. Okay, sisimulan natin with the DDR4 settings. So if you will be buying 12400 as of now, I think this is kind of a processor na kumbaga I may consider sweet spot. Yes, some benchmarks abroad or international, they may consider 12400 as a bit so-so processor, since nga it's better na lang na mag 12600 ka or 12600K ka kung bibili ka lang din naman ng 12400. Yes, maybe they are right, especially pagdating sa mga benchmarks. Konti na lang yung difference, yet there's significant performance upgrade. But considering also the pricing, and here in the Philippines, most likely yung buying power natin is medyo mas mababa compared to other countries, and we are also looking for a processor that is worth it. And kung titingnan natin yung pricing ng counterpart as of now, that AMD is still overpriced, even na yung mga processor nila is possible to have those DDR5 motherboards, then I think at a worth 11K, I may just settle down with the 12400. The reason why I consider 12400 is the upgrade path. You are buying something that in the future, it is still worth it, and you can just buy another parts out there to convert that DDR4 build to a DDR5, like motherboard na compatible sa DDR5 slots, like B660 Asus ROG. So here is the benchmark without video card. And pagdating naman po sa point na gusto mo nang mag-upgrade and you consider RX6600, so we have here the dual Radeon of Asus. Ito naman po ang kanyang benchmark. So here, at least you have now the idea na kahit wala pa siyang video card, capable naman kahit papaano. That will be also the same maybe in a year or two na bumaba na rin ang pricing ng DDR5 RAMs, and mas capable naman siya dahil nga sa potential ng isang DDR5 RAM. If we will look at this side-by-side comparison, makikita po natin dito that on CPU-intensive settings, the DDR5 RAMs are really more powerful than the DDR4 ones. Nagiging maliit or minimal yung difference niya given the pricing. If you look at the pricing kasi, significant yung difference eh. That is 20K over 8K. So that's too much. It's like you are buying performance upgrade of around 5 to 10% for around 12,000 or more than 3 times the pricing ng DDR4 as of now. So that's the reason why DDR5 RAMs are not yet worth it. And given that we are just having the initial release of DDR5 RAMs. But if you will ask me, is it worth it? If you are talking about the upgrade path, yes, it is worth it. And if you are having build that is around 12600K or 12700K or 12900K, then it's better if you will just settle down with DDR5 RAMs. I may just recommend DDR4 platform for those who are into budget. That's the reason why I have here also the 12400. Pero kung higher than that, I may suggest that settle down with DDR5 variants for better upgrade path. Now, as you may see with our presentations, makikita nyo rin dyan na nandyan yung ating mga synthetic benchmarks comparing DDR4 and DDR5. Not a single benchmark of RAM na makikita nyo dyan nag-dominate ang DDR4. Always DDR5. Pero it's from minimal or marginal difference up to significant. So mostly ma-observe nyo lang talaga yung malaking difference in real world if you are talking about the gaming performance in 1080p or CPU intensive applications, na kung saan mas dependent ngayon ang application sa CPU, where we all know that there is also a very huge impact ng RAM dyan sa performance ng CPU dahil nga relative po sila or direct na magkasama sila to deliver the performance that we wanted. Unlike with the GPU intensive applications, where in 1440p gaming, makikita nyo with these benchmarks na walang difference ang DDR4 at saka DDR5. Diyan nyo po mapapansin sa ating real world gaming performance. Now, to highlight the components that I have in here, why I choose Asus, why I choose Kingston, because of course Asus B660 Strix is quite more stable as of now. The BIOS, the firmware, mas kailangan ko yun. There are certain reasons kasi back then na kumbaga yung first release na video ko about the certain processor or certain PC build is nagkakaroon ng konting difference after a few months. Though hindi naman siya ganun talaga ka-impactful, pero just to have more accurate data, given that BIOS firmware got a very huge impact din pagdating sa performance. As you can see naman sa ating mga previous videos or even other international tech reviewers, they often talk about what is their firmware during that kind of benchmark. Kasi sobrang laki po talaga yung out-of-the-box configuration ng BIOS ng isang motherboard, especially pagdating sa mga real-world applications or more on CPU-intensive applications. So that's the reason why I settled down with B660 Strix. Other than that is of course those following reasons na features, AI optimizations, AI overclocking, networking, GameForce technology. Those are just some of those features why I choose the B660 ROG Strix. And also I have here the Asus Dual. By the way, fun fact lang po, sometimes we always think that Asus are overpriced. Pero have you observed recently na pagdating sa pricing ng GPU, yung Asus products hindi ganun kamahal? To tell you honestly, yes, ROG products of Asus are really pricey, pero they are the brand that don't really raise their pricing based on demand. The reality of that is Asus is really pricey out of the manufacturer. Pero hindi sila nagbabago ng pricing sa ating market. Kung tumaas ang demand, hindi sila yung tipong brand na nagtataas ng pricing agad-agad. It's just that sometimes bundle is the one killing their brands, na kumbaga ang dami-daming mga bundles. Pero yung mismong product, wala po siya talagang huge price increase. Pero, ayun nga, mahal talaga ang Asus. Kaya dumadating yung punto na, di ba akala ko Asus ang pinakamahal na component? Bakit mas mahal ngayon si ganito? Because nung binili mo yan siguro, mataas ang demand. Kaya mas mahal na sila ngayon. Pero, pag once na nag-normalize naman, mas mura pa rin sila at Asus pa rin ang pinakamahal. So, yun. Fun fact lang po regarding Asus. And also, if you are dealing with Asus products that are tough or dual, most of them are sometimes even way cheaper than those brands of video card that don't have motherboard components like Zotac, Palit. Sometimes mapapansin nyo yan. Pansinin nyo, RX6600 ng Asus or the RTX 3060 of Asus, minsan mas mura yan. Just check the price list of some stores. Not all stores do that, pero a lot of stores out there, observe it. Maraming stores dyan na mayroong Asus Dual and sobrang mura ng kanilang mga variants. 3060 Ti nila sobrang mura. RX6600 nila sobrang mura compared to other brands. Now, another thing that I want to highlight in here is the solid state of Kingston. Of course, we all know Kingston from the flash memories back decade ago up to the present. Kingston is, kumbaga, naitatak na sa publiko yung reliability and stability of their products. Pero, it's just so sad recently that their distribution here in the Philippines is not that kind of good, or their marketing is not quite active recently, that minsan napapansin na lang natin ang Kingston if you are shopping from Lazada or Shopee, and sa mga retail stores hindi ganun karami ang nailo-load, especially sa provincial stores. So it's a brand that is very reliable, international or even local, pero hindi maganda yung distribution here in the Philippines. And I'm so happy recently that we have this kind of communication again with Kingston. So ayun, gusto ko na ulit siyang i-highlight kasi nga, ang pangit kasi yung mag-highlight ka ng isang product tapos hindi mo rin pala mabibili dahil nga walang binebenta sa mga suki yung tindahan. And now, as you can see with the benchmark ng KC300 3000, the PCIe Gen 4 NVMe variant of Kingston. Sobrang ganda ng kanyang performance sa pinikita sa atin. We have here the comparisons and also the Kingston, the RAM. Nandiyan din po yung ating final graph or final benchmark comparison that you may see. Kingston is so far well performing and the pricing is not too much or bang for the buck lang siya sa ating local market. Now you have another idea again of what PC build you may consider from budget setup up to the final form, or from a budget build na hindi ka naman malulugi, at the same time merong kang assurance na merong upgrade path in the next 3 to 5 years yung PC build mo. Especially now, nakaka-release lang po ng DDR5 RAM. So count around 3 to 5 years bago magkaroon ulit ng susunod na lineup of RAMs. So with that being said, keep posted, and for more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And since this is also my first budget PC build as of 2022, kaya medyo sinaktuhan lang natin yung mga flavor na nilagay natin. And if you want more details or technical discussions, feel free to subscribe because those are the things that we will be talking about in the upcoming days or in the future. Thank you. Now with that being said, and for more videos like this, feel free to subscribe.